Yab, Abba Yabba. Why your much is a what? Why yam taza abu.
Keep reading if you got to.
Ma'a. Wakama Shayim. A lot.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
Washalasha Shah. Alapayas. Washasha. Washash. My Roth. Verse 18. Wayash. Maham. Waba I am. Allah. Sabbath. Washimana Maniyam. Allah. Katazar. Bahar. Washala Shath. Alapyam. Washash. Ma'awath. Manataza Kayam. Laha Abyad.
You in verse 18 still?
Oh God.
Okay, good.
Ath. Ha'ain.
That's it.
I'm
gonna pick up. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 3 now.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up from 2 Chronicles chapter 3. Good reading, brother. You understand? Good reading. You understand? Salaki, once again, Yahweh to all the brothers coming in. Yahweh to all the sisters. Salaki for the technical difficulties with the volume. You understand? Once again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the stream. It's the I.S.U.P.K Sabbath service down here in Washington, D.C., man. We're picking up what we left off last week. You understand? We the book of 2 Chronicles. Catch up with us. We in 2 Chronicles, chapter 2. We now at verse, we read it in the Hebrew. You understand? Once again, keeping our customs. Read it in the Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, man. You understand? The holy tongue of the Lord. You understand? For his people. We picking it up where we left off last week. You understand? We in the Hebrew at 2 Chronicles, chapter 3, verse 1. All right? I'll pick up from here. All right, Wayakol, Shalama, Labanwath, Bayath, Yahweh, Bayar, Washalam, Bahar, Hama, Warrior, Ashar, Nara'ah, Lada Wayad, Abba, Yahweh, Ashar, Hakayan, Bamakawam, Dawayad, Bagaran, our run, Haya, Baba Saya, verse 2, Wayakol, Labanwath, Bakadash, Hashanaya, Bashanath, Arabai, Lamalak, Wathwa, verse 3, Wa'allah, Hawasad, Shalama, Labanwath, Bayath, Lahayim, Ha'arak, Amawath, Bamada, Hara, Ashawana, Amawath, Shashayam, Shashayam, Rarakab, Amawath, Aisharayam, verse 4, Waha, Awalam, Ashar, Al, Panya, Ha'arak, Al, Punya, Rakab, Habayath, Amawath, Asherayam, Waha, Gaba, Ma'a, Wa'ai, Sharyam, Wayatazap, Hawa, Wapan, Yawam, Yamama, Zahab, Tawar. That's the end of that. Right, so now we're going to pick up in the English. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 16.
Come. 2 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 16. And we will cut wood out of Lebanon, as much as thou shalt need, and we will bring it to thee in floats by sea to Joppa, and thou shalt carry it up to Jerusalem. Verse 17. And Solomon numbered all the strangers that were in the land of Israel, after the numbering wherewith David his father had numbered them. And there were found 150,000 and 3,600. Verse 18. And he set 70,000 of them to be bearers of burdens, and 70,000 to be hewers in the mountain, and 3,600 overseers to set the people at work.
You understand? Once again, just ending off in chapter 2. What's going on in chapter 2? You understand? Solomon is now in power. You understand? Solomon is back in power. Is in power now after his father, King David. You understand? And King David, he knows his father wanted that temple built. Solomon went to the Lord and asked for the wisdom and understanding when he went to go acquire the Lord. You understand? He didn't ask for the wealth like our Christian pastors, who the Lord is not talking to. You understand? He didn't ask for riches and all a 3-piece suit with the gator shoes. He didn't ask for the flyest suits in the world. He asked for wisdom and understanding. You understand? With the position he had over Israel. You understand? Being the king. So right here, we read in chapter 2 how he's building the temple of the Lord, man. He's building this place. You understand? And honor the Lord, glorifying the Lord, man. Doing what he knows his father wanted to be done. And he's waiting and going to get the biggest and the baddest, you understand, designers and sculptors and, you understand, skilled men. So that this thing right here can be absolutely perfect and glorious to the Lord, something that the world has never seen. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 3. Then Solomon began to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem in Mount Moriah, where the Lord appeared unto David his father, in the place that David had prepared in the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. Verse 2. Oh, Salaki. That was chapter 3. Chapter 3. Salaki. Verse 1. Verse 2. And he began to build in the 2nd day of the 2nd month, in the 4th year of his reign. Verse 3. Now these are the things wherein Solomon was instructed for the building of the house of God. The length by cubits after the first measure was 80 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. Verse 4. And the porch that was in the front of the house, the length of it was according to the breadth of the house, 20 cubits, and the height was 120. And he overlaid it within with pure gold.
What's up, Chris? You understand? This is just giving out the measurements at building this thing, man. This is just building out all of the measurements and what it's taking. You understand? We're going to go right back to the Hebrew. I'm going to pick it up, Shapak. We're going to be in 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 5. You understand? Wa'ath, Habayath, Hagadawol, Kapah, Aitazah, Bara Washat, Rashayam, Waya, Kapahawa, Zahar, Tawa, Waya'ar, Al-Yawa, Thamarium, Washar, Salaki, Washar, Sharawath, verse 6, Wayatazap, Habayath, Aban, Yakara, Latha, Pa'arath, Waha, Zahar, Parayam, verse 7, Wayakap, no, is that yours? No, put it in the water. Let's put it on that thing. Verse 7, Wayakap, Habayath, Hakawath. Actually, yeah, you can bring it up there. Yeah, you can bring it back up there. Salaki. Pick it back up. Hakawath. Hasapayim. Wakayar. Watha Yawa. Wada. Lathwatha. Yawa. Zahab. Wapa. Thaka. Kara. Wabayam. Ar. Haka. Yarwa. Verse 8. Waya Aisha. Ath. Bayath. Kadash. Haka. Dashayam. Awakawa. Ar. Panya. Raka. Habayath. Amawath. Ashayam. Ashayam. Warak. Rawakabak. Salaki. Wara. Kabawa. Amawath. Ashayam. Waya Kapa Hawa. Zahab. Tawa. Lakarayam. Shash. Ma'awath. Verse 9. Ramad. Shakal. Lama. Samarath. Lashakalyam. Kamashayam. Zaha. Waha. Alayawath. Kapa. Zaha. Verse 10. Verse 10. Wayasha. Babayath. Kadash. Haka. Hakadashim. Karabayim. Shanayam. Ma'aisha. Taza'ayim. Wayatazakwa. Atham. Zaha. Verse 11. Wayakanya. Salaki. Wakan. Paya. Hakara. Wabayam. Awakam. Amawath. Ashayam. Kanak. Ha'akad. La'a. Mawath. Kamash. Maga'ath. Lakayar. Habayath. Wahakanak. Ha'a. Karath. Amawath. Kamash. Magayai. Lakanak. Haka. Warab. Ha'akar. Hebrew. We can pick up in the English. 2 Chronicles chapter 3. Start at verse 5.
Come on. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 5. And the greater house he sealed with fir tree, which he overlaid with fine gold, and set there on palm trees and chains. Verse 6. And he garnished the house with precious stones for beauty, and the gold was gold of Parvaim. Verse 7. He overlaid also the house, the beams, the posts, and the walls thereof, and the doors thereof with gold, and graved cherubims on the walls. Verse 8. And he made the most holy house, the length whereof was according to the breadth of the house, 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits. And he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents. Verse 9. And the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold.
I know we're hearing a lot of gold. Solomon is your original gold member. You understand? He's the original. I like gold. I'm saying he's the original gold member. You want a gold in the pancake? He's the original. He's the original gold member, man. Solomon loved gold. If you look at the table here, the brothers got gold on. We got gold studs. You understand? The Lord loves gold. What do you want me to tell you? You understand? The Lord loves gold. It's a glorious thing. I love gold. You understand? And we hate and love what the Lord hates and loves. You understand? But keep reading.
Come. And he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents. Mm-hmm. Verse 9. And the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold.
What held down the nails was gold. I didn't understand that. What held down the nails, the thing that fastens in the nail, what held it down was gold as well. It's a lot of gold in this thing. Keep going.
Come. And he overlaid the upper chambers with gold. Mm-hmm. Verse 10.
You keep going. Verse 11, you stop.
And the most holy house he made 2 cherubims of image work and overlaid them with gold. Verse 11. And the wings of the cherubims were 20 cubits long. One wing of the one cherubim was 5 cubits, reaching to the wall of the house. And the other wing was likewise 5 cubits, reaching to the wing of the other cherubim.
We're going to pick back up in the Hebrew. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 12. Shapat, read the first 2 verses.
Oh, God.
All right.
Wakanat. Verse 12. Wakanat. Haka wa. Ha'akad. Hamawath. Kamash. Magayai. Laquayar. Habayath. Wahakana nap. Wahakanap. Karath. Amawath. Kamash. Dabaqua. Lakanap. Hakarawab. Ha'akar. Verse 13. Kanapaya.
Kapanya.
Salapia.
Kana. Yeah, you was right. Go ahead.
Kanapaya. Hakarawab. Rabayam. Hold up. Hakarabyam.
What about Yum? There you go.
Ha'ala. Parashim. Amawath. Aisharyam. Waham. Amadim. Al. Regalia. Wapanyaham. Labayath.
We'll read it. Pick up at verse 14. Waya Aish, Ath, Hapa Rakath, Thakalath, Ragaman, Wakar, Mayol, Waba Wataza, Waya Ayawa, Kara Bayam, verse 15. Waya Aisha, Lapunya, Habayath, Aimar, Wadium, Shanayam, Amawath, Shayam, Wakamash, Arak, Wahatazapath, Ashar, Ra'ashwa, Amawath, Kamash, verse 16, Waya Aish, Sharawath, Badabayar, Wayathan, Ra'ash, Ha'ai, Madyam, Waya Aish, Ramah, Wanayam, Ma'ar, Wayathan, Bashar, Sharawath, verse 17, Wayakam, Ath, Ha'ai, Mawadayam, Panya, Haha, Yakol, Akkad, Mayan, Wa'akad, Maha, Shama'awol, Wayakara, Sham, Haya, Man Salaki. Haya Maya Naya Yakayan Washam Hashama'ar Laya Ba'az verse 1. Salaki, second Chronicles chapter 4, verse 1. Waya Asha Mazabak Nakashath Aishayam Ama Arakawa Wa'ai Sharayam Ama Rakabawa Wa'asha Amawath Kawa Mathawa. Verse, that's it right there. We're gonna pick up in the English one more time. We're gonna keep going. Pick up in the English. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 3, starting at verse 12.
2 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 12. And one wing of the cherubim was 5 cubits, reaching to the wall of the house. And the other wing was 5 cubits also, joining to the wing of the other cherub. Verse 13. The wings of these cherubims spread themselves forth 20 cubits, and they stood on their feet, and their faces were inward. Verse 14. And he made the veil of blue and purple and crimson and fine linen, and wrought cherubims thereon. Verse 15. Also, he made before the house 2 pillars of 30 and 5 cubits high, and the chapiter that was on the top of each of them was 5 cubits. Verse 16. And he made chains, as in the oracle, and put them on the heads of the pillars, and made 100 pomegranates, and put them on chains. Verse 17. And he reared up the pillars before the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left.
So just imagine, like, outside of the building, you got 2 pillars out there, you understand, looking glorious, and around them is a chain that's connecting them. It's a chain of pomegranates. I don't know if you've ever had a pomegranate. They're delicious fruit. Solomon had taste. He had wisdom, understanding, and taste, and woman. He had it all. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. And made 100 pomegranates, and put them on the chains. Verse 17. And he reared up the pillars before the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left, and called the name of that on the right hand Jachin, and the name of that on the left Boaz. 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 1. Moreover, he made an altar of brass, 20 cubits the length thereof, and 20 cubits the breadth thereof, and 10 cubits the height thereof.
We're going to transfer back over to the Hebrew. We had 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 2. Shapat, read the first 2 verses.
Come.
Now read the first 3 verses.
Oh, come, sir.
All right.
Waya Aish, Hayam, Mawataza.
Verse 2, right?
Mawatazak.
Watazak.
Sorry. Ashar. Ba'ama.
Yep.
My Shapathwa. Al Shapathwa. Agawa. Sabaya. Wakamash. Ba'ama. Kwawamathwa. Wakawa. Shalashayam. Shalashim. Ba'ama, Yisab, Athwa, Sabayath, verse 3, Wadamawas, Bakari, the Koth, the law. It's law, right?
Lawa.
Lawa. Sabayath. Sabayath. I mean Sabayab. Sabayab. Sabababa Yum. Aithwa. Athwa. Ashar. Ba'ama. Makaya Pa Yum.
Paya.
Ath. Hayam. Sabayab. Shanayab.
Shalayam.
Shanayam. Tawa Rayam. Habakar. Yatazawa Kayam. Bamataza Kathawa.
Kathwa. Kathawa, yeah. That's the one.
Bamataza Kathwa. Verse 4. Is that it?
Take this last one.
Come on.
I'll pick it up from there, actually. Good reading. You understand? Good reading. These brothers picking it up, man. These brothers reading in the Hebrew is glorious, man, in the sight of the Lord. We're going to keep reading in the Hebrew. We have verse 4. So let me get there with you. We have verse 4. I will mod al Shanayam I.S.U.P.K Shalasha Panyam Tazap Wana Washala Washa Panyam Yama Washa Lasha Panyam Nagawa Salaki Nagaba Washalash Washa Lasha Panyam Mazarka Wahayam Al Yaham Malama Ila Wakal Akar Yaham Bayatha, verse 5. Wa'ai Bayawa Tapak Washa Pathwa Kama Aisha Shapath Kawasa Parak Shawa Shana Makar Zayak Bathayam Shalashath Alapayim Yakol Yakayom, verse 6. Wayasha Kaya Rayam Aishara Wayathan Kamasha Maya Mayan Waka Masha Ma'awo Lara Kataza Baham Ath Sha'aisha Ha'awala Yada Yakawa Bama Wahayam Larakataza Laka Hanayam Bawa, verse 7. Waya Aisha Ath Mana Rawath Hazahar Aishar Kama Shapatama Wayathan Baha Yakol Kamash Waya Mayan Wakamash Masha Ma'awo, verse 8. Waya Aisha Salaki. Waya Asha, Shala Kanawath, Aishara, Waya Naka, Bayako, Kamasha, Maya Mayan, Waka, Masha, Masha Ma'awa, Washa, Ma'awo, Waya Aish, Waya Shah, Mazar, Kaya, Zahar, Ma'a. We're gonna pick up in the English. We're gonna pick up in the English. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 4. You at verse 2.
Come. 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 2. Also, he made a molten sea of 10 cubits from brim to brim, round in compass, and 5 cubits the height thereof. And a line of 30 cubits did compass it round about. Verse 3. And under it was the small similitude of oxen, which did compass it round about, 10 in a cubit, compassing the sea around about. 2 rows of oxen were cast, when it was cast. Verse 4. It stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking forward the north, 3 looking toward the north, 3 looking toward the west, 3 looking toward the south, and 3 looking toward the east. And the sea was set above upon them, and all their hinder parts were inward.
You understand? What I want everybody to understand is we talking about chapters that's dedicated to this temple. So we gotta understand that anything in the Bible is, you understand, meant for our learning. You understand? It's meant for us to see and read about these type of things. This temple was so great that it's inside of the holy text. You understand? It's inside of the Bible. This is how great and how much work is really being put into this temple. You understand? You go ahead, keep reading.
Come. Verse 5. And the thickness of it was an handbreadth, and the brim of it like the work of the brim of a cup,
right,
with flowers of lilies. And it received and held 3,000 baths.
You understand? Anybody know the Lord's favorite flower? Go ahead. Go ahead. Pagabua.
It's the lily.
The lily, man. Understand something. Ain't nobody to get butt hurt or in their chest. The Lord has favorites, and so do we. We got children that we favorite. We got one child that's just, nonsense and just not doing what's right. You got one child that listen. You got 20 pairs of shoes. You sisters got 50 pairs of shoes. But you got them one shoes, you understand, that you step out. You brothers, you got them lemon pepper steppers that you ready to step out in, you understand, when the time is right. We all got our favorite things. The Lord has his favorite things as well. Solomon knows this. And the lily is the Lord's favorite flower. There's many flowers on this earth. You got the dandelion, the rose. They're all beautiful. They smell lovely. Whatever. I don't think roses smell the best. But they all smell good. But lilies is the Lord's favorite flower. You understand? Keep reading.
Come, sir. Verse 6.
Good.
He made also 10 laborers, and put 5 on the right hand and 5 on the left, to wash in them. Such things as they offered for the burnt offerings, they washed in them. But the sea was for the priest to wash in. Mm-hmm. Verse 7. And he made 10 candlesticks of gold according to their form, and set them in the temple, 5 on the right hand and 5 on the left. Verse 8. He made also 10 tables and placed them in the temple, 5 on the right side and 5 on the left. And he made 100 basins of gold.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Chris. These brothers got strong reading. You understand? We about to take it back over to the Hebrew. I'll take we at verse 9. 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9. I'll read up to I'll read at the end of 12. You'll pick up 13, 14. I'll read up to 13. You'll pick up 14 and 15, all right? So we're at 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9. Once again, read it in the Hebrew. All right. Waya Asha, Slada Nova, Katazar, Haka, Hanayam, Waha, I, Zara, Haggadah, Wala, Wadalathwath, La'ai, Zara, Wada, Latha, Watha, Yaham, Tizap. Nakashath, verse 10, Wa'ath. Hayam, Nathan, Makathap. Hayam, Nayath, Karama, Mabawo, Nagaba, verse 11, Waya'asha, Kawaram, Ath, Hasa, Yarawath, Wa'ath, Hayah, Ayam, Wa'ath, Hamar, Zarakawath, Wayakal, Kayaram, La'ai, Shawath, Ath, Hamar, La'aka, Ashar, Aisha, Lamalak, Shalamah, Babayath, Ha'a, Lahayam, verse 12, Aima, Wadayam, Shanyam, Waha, Galawath, Waha, Kathrawath, Ar, Ra'ash, Ha'ai, Mawadayam, Shathayam, Waha, Shabakwath, Shathayam, Laka, Sawath, Ath, Shathya, Galawath, Hakar, Thawawath, Ashar, Ar, Ra'ash, Ha'ai, Mawadayam. You can pick up a verse. I'll read 13. Wa'ath, Hara, Mawathanayam, Araba'ai, Ma'awath, Lashathaya, Hashabah, Kawath, Shanayam, Tarayam, Tawaryam, Salagi, Ramah, Wanayam, Lashabaka, Ha'akath, Lakasawath, Ath, Shathya, or Shayatha, Salaki. Yeah. Shathaya, Galawath, Hakar, Thawawath, Ashar, Ar, Panya, Ha'ai, Mawadyam. You can pick up verse 14 and 15.
Verse 14. Wa'ath, Hamakanawath, Aisha, Wa'ath, Hakayarawath, Aisha, Al, Hamakanawath. Verse 15. Ath, Hayam, Akkad, Wa'ath, Habakar, Shanayam, Ashar, Zakathayawa. That's it.
That was it. We're going to take it back over to the English. You understand? We're going to take it back over to the English. We at 2 Chronicles chapter 4. We at verse 9. Go ahead. Verse 9.
Come. 2 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 9. Furthermore, he made the court of the priests and the great court in the doors of the court, and overlaid the doors of them with brass. Verse 10. And he set the sea on the right side of the east end, over against the south. Verse 11. And Huram made the pots and the shovels and the basins. And Huram finished the work that he was to make for King Solomon for the house of God. Verse 12. To wit, the two pillars and the pommels and the chapiters, which were on the top of the two pillars, and the two reefs to cover the two pommels of the chapiters, which were on the top of the pillars. Verse 13. And 400 pomegranates and the two reefs, on the two reefs, 2 rows of pomegranates on each reef, to cover the two pommels of the chapiters which were upon the pillars. Verse 14. He made also bases and lavers made he upon the bases. Verse 15. 1 seed and 12 oxen under it.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. We're gonna take it back over to the Hebrew. You understand? Shapat, read up to the end of verse 12. All right. So 9, 10. Matter of fact, read 9, 10, and 11. So like it. We at 2nd Chronicles chapter 14, verse 16. Right? Read 16, 17, and 18. Read 3 verses.
Verse 16. Wa'ah. Hasayara Wath. Wa'ah. Haya Ayam. Wa'ah. Hamazala Gawath. Wa'ah. Ka Yaham. Aisha. Kayaram. Abayawa. Abayawa. Lamalak. Shalama. Labayath. Yahweh. Nakashath. Marawak. Verse 17. But Kakar. Redan. Rataza come. Hamalak. Ba'idiyah. Ha'adama. Bayan.
What verse you at?
About to finish 18. About to finish 17.
Okay. Keep going.
Sakawath. Wabayan. Tazara Dath. Tazara Datha.
So, Datha. No sweat.
Verse 8.
You got to read 18, right?
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. Waya Aish.
They say Waya Aisha.
Waya Aisha.
Mm-hmm.
Waya Aisha. Shalama.
Mm-hmm.
Ka.
Mm-hmm.
Hakalayam. Ha'ala. Lara. Ma'ad. Kaya. La'a.
Mm-hmm.
Nakakar.
Mm-hmm.
Mashaka.
Mm-hmm.
Hana Kashath.
You gonna start the curse? We're reading from the brother. You understand? We're gonna finish it off. We're at verse 19. Waya Asha, Shalama, Af, Kal, Haka, Layam, Ashar, Bayath, Ha'al, Hayam, Wa'af, Mazabaka, Hazahar, Wa'af, Hasha, Laka, Nawath, Wa'al, Yaham, Lakam, Hapanyam, verse 20, Wa'af, Hamana, Rawath, Wana Raphyaham, Laba Iram, Kamar, Shapat, Lapanya, Hadabayar, Zahab, Sagawar, verse 21, Waha, Parak, Waha, Narawath, Wahamalar, Wahamalak, Kayam, Zahab, Hawa'ar, Malakwath, Hazahab, Zahab, verse 22, Waha, Mazarawath, Waha, Mazarawakwath, Waha, Wahaka, Pawath, Waha, Makathawath, Zahab, Sagawar, Wapathaka, Habayath, Dalah, Dalath, Watha, Yawa, Hapan, Yamar, Yawath, Lakadash, Hakadashim, Wadaliathia, Habayath, Salakia, Lahar, Kayo, Zahar. We're going to pick it up in the English. We are 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 16. Go ahead.
Come. 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 16. The pots also, and the shovels, and the flesh hooks, and all their instruments, did Huram his father make to King Solomon for the house of the Lord of bright brass. Verse 17. In the plain of Jordan did the king cast them, in the clay ground between Succoth and Zeredadah. Verse 18. Thus Solomon made all these vessels in great abundance, for the weight of the brass could not be found. Verse 9. Could not be found out. Verse 19. And Solomon made all the vessels that were for the house of God, the golden altar also, and the tables whereon the shewbread was set. Verse 20. Moreover, the candlesticks with their lamps, and they should burn after the manner before the oracle of pure gold. Verse 21. And the flowers, and the lamps, and the tongs made he of gold.
You understand? Once again, all of this gold. Matter of fact, I want to read the last verse. I was speaking.
Come.
We'll make the last verse.
Come. And that perfect gold. Verse 22. And the snuffers, and the basins, and the spoons, and the censers of pure gold, and the entry of the house, the inner doors thereof for the most holy place, and the doors of the house of the temple were of gold.
That's one hell of a way to end the chapter, man, for real. You understand? I'm going to say it again. I know I said it earlier, but Solomon, you understand, is the son of King David. You know, this brother right here, he loved gold, man. And I love it so much. It makes me love him more because I love gold. You understand? But Solomon loved gold. If you read what we just read in this entire chapter, the last 2 chapters, if I'm correct, you understand, was just talking about the building of the temple, man. This temple of the Lord, you understand, following what his father, King David, had set in stone, man. You understand? King Solomon got the acquired wisdom how to oversee this operation that was going on. And y'all can read here. You might get a small glimpse of what it is Commander Yahanna has to deal with. You understand? All of the things that, what we just read here, the cubits, the different measurements, the flowers, the wine, the pillars, the tables, like these is things that Solomon oversaw. You understand? This is the same things that Commander Yahanna has to go through when it comes to running over all of these schools. You understand? But you gotta already know the Lord is with him. Solomon is the original gold member. He likes gold. You understand? Not Austin Powers, it's Solomon. Solomon loves gold, man. We love gold. You understand? That's the end of these scriptures for this week. You understand? Lord allow we pick up next week. You understand? Let's give a good hand to the sister bringing in the food. You understand? Our sister that's brought in the food as well. Most High in Christ, we're going to give a hand to her as well. Brothers and sisters up in here, we get to eat, man. These children get to eat. You don't got to starve. On New Year's, y'all brothers and sisters, y'all came on America's New Year's and y'all held it down, man. Y'all held the Lord's Sabbath service while everybody else is still recovering. You understand? You here in your garments. You understand? Your war pieces, your dresses, the sisters here in their dresses. You understand? Y'all doing what the Lord wants y'all to do, man. Y'all not hung over and sprung out. And your relationships are still intact. New Year's happened and y'all still got the same wives and husbands. You understand? New Year's happened and you did not overdose. Congratulate yourself. You understand? The crime rate went out the roof. You understand? The crime rate went out the roof last night. Somebody get me the statistics later on. But the crime rate went out the roof. But you brothers and sisters, y'all came and y'all held it down, man. And that's glorious to the Lord. The angels most definitely going to rejoice in that, man. You understand? With that, Amajim, we're going to end the Sabbath service. You understand? Good. You can blow the horn. Like it. I gotta get that brother in. You understand? Really. Back to the front.
Shalom.
Shabbat. One more time. Sorry, Christ. Sorry, Christ. Imagine, which means to stand.
Imagine, which means to stand.
Open your heart, but now. Time to face the east. What you got? That's right, to opposite the water.
Wapayam,
Hold the face back. Go ahead.
Wapayam Hakwadam, which means turn to face the east.
Sorry, Christ. Say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. That's right.
Say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Amanau.
Amanau.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak with Ka.
Malak with Ka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazayah.
Ratazayah.
Hayah.
Hayah.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Maharatazah.
Maharatazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Latandanah.
Latandanah.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Cow.
Cow.
Yuwam.
Yawam.
Masalakina.
Masalakina.
Kawakbatina.
Kabawafina.
Masalakina.
Masalakina.
Kawakbatina.
Kabawafina.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Taba'ayina.
Tabaya'ayina.
Wanasayawan.
Wanasayawan.
Abo.
Abo.
Hawashayina.
Habashayina.
Bayam.
Bayam.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Wahatapara.
Wahatapara.
Wahamalami.
Ma'amalanya.
Amam.
Aman. And in the English, repeat after me. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say a cop the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Baba Kashah.
Baba Kashah.
Latandanah.
Latandanah.
Hakak.
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 La'pa'ah.
La'pa'ah.
Kamarawa.
Wakamarawa.
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 Hakak.
Hakak.
Lataha.
Lataha.
Hamatazariah.
Hamatazariah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakim.
Lahakim.
Hamathim.
Hamathim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Al-Rakawath.
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 Hatama'ala.
Latama'ala.
Regarshah.
Regarshah.
Ba'ashim.
Ba'ashim.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. And in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say Psalms 121.
Bless Israel.
Bless Israel.
Should be on the left hand side.
There. We're going to say bless Israel. There. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim.
Ba'ashim.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Baraklanah.
Baraklanah.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasha'ala.
Wahabayas.
Wahabayah.
Wahabayas.
Wahabayah.
Sapari.
Sabari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magan.
Magan.
Ba'ashim. Hagan.
Hagan.
Ba'ashim.
Ba'ashim.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. And in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
Our loved ones.
Our loved
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We'll say Psalms 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahaya.
Ahahaya.
Ma'ayan.
Ba'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah. Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Shamayam.
Shemaiah.
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 Wa'ara. Waratasa.
Waratasa.
Ayatan.
Ayatan.
Lamawat.
Lawat.
Magalika.
Magalka.
Ayanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamar.
Shamarka.
Ana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shabama.
Shabama.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamar.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Ayah.
Aliyah.
Yamyaka. Yamyakan.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakayaka.
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 Wayara.
Wayara.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamaka.
Yashamarka.
Makara.
Makara.
Yashama.
Yashama.
Ashnapaska.
Ashnapaska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashama.
Yashama.
Tazayaka.
Tazayaka.
Taza'atka.
Taza'aka.
Waba wa'afka.
Waba wa'aka.
Ma'itha.
Ma'itha.
I walam.
Wa'aya walam.
Tawara
Tawara. Sorry, Chris. And in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve
From
thee.
all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming
From
in.
this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. So I'm going to say Psalms 83. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Al-Damai Laka.
Al-Damai Laka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa-Al-Tashakwat.
Wa-Al-Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Al-Yabika.
Al-Yabika.
Yahanna Yawam.
Yahanna Yawam.
Wamana Shikat Hasla. Wama Shinayaka.
Wama Shinayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'ara Yamwa. Ya'ara Yamwa.
Ya'ara Yamwa.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Waya'aita Sawa.
Waya'aita Sawa.
Al-Tazapanyaka.
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 Amaru.
Amaru.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakina.
Wanakakina.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Aywa.
Aywa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'aita Zawa.
Nawa'aita Zawa. La.
Laka'adwa.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa. Al-Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakawa. Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashama'alia.
Wayashama'alia.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagayim.
Wahagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'aimalak.
Wa'aimalak.
Palashah.
Palashah.
I'm Yashab. I'm Yashabia.
I'm Yashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Aimam.
Aimam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawat.
Zarawat.
Labaya Lawat.
Labaya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamaji.
Kamaji.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Kayabi.
Kayabi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kayash. Kayashwan.
Koyashwa.
Nashamagwa.
Say it again. Say it one time.
Kayashwan.
Koyashwa.
Nashamagwa.
Nashamagwa.
Bayan the Ira.
Bayan the Ira.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Dama.
Dama.
La Adama.
La Adama.
Shayathumwa.
Shayathumwa.
Nada Yabwa.
Nada Yahweh.
Kaira.
Ka'ara.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Ba.
Wakaza Ba.
Wakaza Talmanah.
Wakaza Zalmanah.
Wakata Zalmanah.
Wakaza Zalmanah.
Kauna Sayakumwa.
Kauna Sayakumwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amar.
Amar.
Nayashua. Nayarashah.
Nayarashah.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'awath.
Na'awath.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya. Shayathumwa.
Shayathumwa.
Kagagala. Kakash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya
Raka.
Ka'ash. Tabaira Yaira.
Tabaira.
Wakala Habath.
Wakahalabah.
Talahat. Hariyam. Khan. Taradapma. Basa Irika.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wabasa Wapatka. Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a. Panyaham. Kualawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayabahalawa.
Wayabahawa.
Adi. Wayakapara. Wayabadwa. Wayadaiwa. Kaya Ata. Kaya Ata. Shamka. Yahweh. Labaka. Ayawan. Al-Kawaratiza. Tawaraman.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarene, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. I.S.U.P.K is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, was perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Seir. Yea, all of their princes, and Sabbath, and as Salmuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wind, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy stone. Fill their faces with shame, and they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and purged, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High, for all the earth. So be it. Go to the blessings. You got it?
What is it? Bless are you, Yahanna?
I got it on this one.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yo, swear. Good.
Barakatha.
Barakatha.
Yahweh. Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa
Mayaki Allah.
Wa Mayaki Allah.
Wa Mayaki Allah.
Wa Allah Hayy.
Wa Allah
Matazabaya.
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 Alawap Yahanna.
Alawap Yahanna.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Asarium. Hasaranium.
Hasaranium.
Hakwatazanium. Hakwatazanium.
Hakwatazanium.
Haka Yalayam.
Hakaya Yanyam.
Haka Yayamnim.
Hakaya Yanyam. Go ahead.
Waha
Salaki. Waha Akwathium.
Akwathium.
Waha Akwathium.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Tuwalaman.
Tuwalaman.
And in the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Command the general.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In
Yahushua.
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So big.
So big.
We're going to do the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and
And
earth.
all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In
Yahushua.
the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
To the evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
Thy
The
prophets.
teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake
The
loose.
treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the merchant of Israel.
That refuse to get to the school.
That refuse to get to school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy
To
sanctuary.
enter into thy
Send
sanctuary.
evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and
And
destruction.
punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And the drug dealers.
And the drug
The
dealers.
court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and
The
all.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Roman Catholic
The
Church.
Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The gay
The
movement.
lesbian
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space
Army.
program.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the
The
airwaves.
cable access channel.
Cable access
And
channel.
the radio channel.
And radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy
that
people
seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop
and bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way
that stand in the
or
way
try to stop us
Try to stop
from
us
broadcasting your
from
word
broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet
Let
Earth.
loose all the players.
Let loose all the
Let
players.
loose all the
Let
players.
loose all the
Cause
players.
them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to
through
and
the
fro
earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume
Let
them.
the plague
Let the plague
shake the house of the thief.
shake the house of the thief.
Shake the house of the thief
Shake the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying
come
saucers
down with the flying
and
saucer
punish all the heathen
and punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against us.
as we speak thy words.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it to be
by
known
all
by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be spread
throughout the media,
throughout the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it thy coming.
Cause them to shake it thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh
In
shine.
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So big.
So be it.
So.
So, which means to turn. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins to salute the Torah.
Right. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah brought you up.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua brought you up. That's like. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua brought you up. Imagine, which means to stand. We're going to do one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua brought you up.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah brought you thumb.
So, which means to turn. Yad Yom Matah. So, which means to turn. Sister Yahanna, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Shabbat, Imagine, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Eldam Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shema Eldam Hashem Yahushua.
Yadi Matal, Classy Smith.
Let me know when it's over the line.